Apps on Demand, an online-based resource sponsored by CIT through Canvas. This video is for Cornell students and faculty only. Apps on Demand. If you are a faculty and you have a class that requires the use of a statistical programming language like Stata or R or SAS, Minitab, MATLAB, etc., then you can set up your class with Apps on Demand such that they can use these programming languages for free online through Canvas. And quick sidebar for the professors, if you want to set up this service, then all you need to do is email the email appsondemand@cornell.edu. And they like to know your course name and number, the programming language that you desire to use, as well as the number of students in your class. I will, in this short video, go over how to sign in. I've already talked about how professors can request these types of accounts, and I will show signing in, using the service, using a statistical programming language, and signing out. So I begin by going to Canvas at .cornell.edu. And I will include these links in the description section underneath the video. And here is my Apps on Demand sign-in. For students, I would select courses and the course that is specific to where my Apps on Demand is. And then on the left, you will have a menu here. Mine is very brief, but yours will probably be more populated with items that say like announcements, assignments, projects, and notes, along with a button that will say Apps on Demand. So I click that to initiate it. And here I'm presented with, so far, all of the applications within Apps on Demand. There's a web browser, view PDFs, compressed and zip files, R, SAS, Stata, SPSS, Minitab, Notepad, and many more. But I must note that to use this service and working with files, you are directly working within your Google Drive account. And all Cornell students, faculty, and staff have a Google account, a Google Drive space with their NetID. So the first thing I do would click on this box of Google Drive file stream to make sure that the files within my Google Drive account are linked to this Apps on Demand service. So I click this button and I perform all of the sign-in operations. My loading is complete and I'm ready to sign in to my Google account with my Cornell NetID and password. Now I've completed the process to map my Google Drive to Apps on Demand. I'll proceed through all of this And I'd like to open my Google Drive folder. Hey, and here it is. I go to this PC and I see here is my Google Drive, all of the files associated with it. So whenever I want to work on files, then I must put them in Google Drive. Furthermore, when I'm done working with files and I'm about to submit an assignment, I must make sure to also save it to Google Drive and then submit it to Canvas through Google Drive. But I had a sample data set that I figured I would open inside of R just to prove that this data set works and that the programming language works within Apps on Demand. So prior to me actually importing this data set into R, I'm going to inspect the data set by opening using Notepad++. I see here's my data. Everything seems standard, so that's fine. A quick note on these buttons at the top. This leftmost button will allow me to select and open more than one application. So I want to import this data set into RStudio, so I will select that application to open. The second button from the left, if I have multiple of these applications open, I can click this to toggle between which program I want to be front and center. Third from the left allows me to look at my files. The fourth allows me to copy and paste on and off this app streaming. Settings, full screen for, or not full screen. And when I'm completed with my session, I go over to this person icon and I'd say end session. But I'm interested in importing this data set into R. So I locate where my file is within this Apps on Demand. I go to this PC, Google Drive. I find where my sample data is. I'll take its properties to get its path and just simple R programming of a read CSV command. Make sure to put an R if there's a backslash, 2 backslashes in a row, or just 1 forward slash, followed by the name. Whoops. And I see that I get no error messages. I can open the data set and boom, there it is. The R programming language is working perfectly and everything is going well. If I wanted to save this data set, I would likely, want to save it to the same location in my Google Drive so that I could submit it to an online assignment or project. But this ends my quick demonstration and I'm done with my session. So I would like to sign out and end the session, concluding this quick demonstration. Again, for professors that want to set up this service for their class, you would just email appsondemand@cornell.edu. Thank you very much.